Welcome to the Barber Game Podcast. I go by the name of DJ Meek Chops.
Hey, people, this is Mess.
What it do? This is Marcus.
And this is the
Barber Game Podcast.
This morning we got a real special guest. He's an artist, songwriter, and model. Tys Briege. What's good?
Hey.
Good?
Yeah. I'm great.
I kind of wanted to tap in right out the gate with how this happened. You was promoting our sponsors, Zawadi, right?
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
how I'm even connected
Okay, yeah.
to the, I guess, the sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
That whole connection was a good night, good vibes, and I was introduced to the liquor, the black-owned liquor. So Wally, I tasted it. It was smooth, and that person was a good promoter.
Right.
Like, let's talk about it. Because he's not in this room. What's his name?
Lonnie, shout out to Lonnie.
Shout out to you, Lonnie, because in full circle, that's how I'm here.
Yep.
I only met that man once in a lifetime, and it was good vibes. Like I said, he passed me the liquor. I toasted back, and it was something that stuck. You know what I'm saying? I always remembered it. We ended up adding each other on Instagram and connected.
That's beautiful. That's the power of networking. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. So let's get into it.
Power of the black man.
For real.
As I told you, it was that black bottle. That's smooth. I ain't never seen nothing really like that. It go right, and then the world, Africa, and then Lonnie has, I think, some African attire on,
beads,
some
yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
He was real, real Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So I wanted to drink with him. I wanted to march with him. We was in the parking lot till I think about 5 a.m.
That's dope.
Because we was,
let out.
we was just trying to keep the vibe going.
Yeah.
Didn't really have nowhere to go.
We'll tap back in on that real quick. So go ahead, give the listeners like some of your upbringing, some of your background, where you from. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm from, Seattle, the 6. Originally, I was born in the Kingways. That's like South Seattle. Holly Street-ish,
Yep.
Martin Luther King. And grew up there till I was about 6 or 7. Yeah. And then we moved to West Seattle and, kind of was raised in West Seattle. High Point, Dale Ridge, from Thistle to Webster.
That's what's up.
I wrote a song, actually, I guess when I was experimenting rapping, as far as songwriting goes. It's called Barry Lando, if anybody know who that is. Where I kind of talked about just running into a bigger homie of mine's, or just almost getting into gangs and wanting to be somebody that I probably didn't want to be. Well, matter of fact, I know I didn't want to be because I chose a different route. Kind of talked about moving from one place to another and how that takes effect on you as a kid, as a child. If your mom or your parents moved around a lot and stuff, you couldn't really make no good friends or no attachments and stuff like that, and they don't really realize how, that affects, your life and stuff like that. So that song kind of brought my fans into, or people that I released it to at that time, a little bit more about my upbringing. So from South into West Seattle, and then from West Seattle to graduating from high school back in the South End, South Lake High School. Matter of fact, got kicked out of there. But ended up still graduating on time, 2 weeks early than everybody. I remember shout out to the Interagency Academy.
That's what's up.
A program where I remember I was going to school, like my senior year I only had like 3 classes because I only had a certain amount of credits to finish. Was leaving the school around a certain time and stuff, so that's kind of how I ran into trouble a lot, kind of that type of kid who do their work hella fast, hella good, shove it in the teacher's face, shut up, and then I'm doing what I want to do type shit. So, but made it out of high school on the limb.
So how old were you when you started singing?
I was 3. From what I know, from what I remember, I was 3. I got like pictures in the church that I grew up with my godmom, Linda Seat. Shout out to her, rest in peace.
Rest
Who?
in peace.
Thank you. Who used to take me to that church, Rainer Avenue Methodist Church. And I won like little singing pageants and model pageants and stuff. I still got those on my wall and stuff. And so that's what I know. That's what I got told from a kid. I'm always, you're always singing and, talking and running your mouth and wanting to be in front of people and dancing and
Performer.
yeah, just a performer. The kid. Me and my my cousin Darnisha, shout out to you, bro. Me and her, come on, you guys come. One of them. Everybody had them type of kids in the family. Look at them. Putting them out on the stage.
Putting on a little show.
Yeah, putting on a show. That was us.
Little entertainer.
Doing our little dances and making up dances outside my auntie's house and stuff like that. But, I always took the sing around. So, my auntie and her lineage, that's who really kind of like supported my voice, and me being heard and me singing and stuff like that.
So when did you start writing?
I could say as early as 8 years old. Why? Because I used to win like essay contests and like poetry contests, spelling bees, things like that in 2nd and 3rd grade. I went to African American Academy. Shout out to all the young scholars in the AAA. That school was pretty dope. And hopefully there's another school that gets built or created like that on everything. Miss Middleton, one of my favorite teachers. I had her for 2nd and 3rd grade. That was a teacher where I was going over to her house. I used to be one of the, the kids where I'm at the teacher's house spending the night with her and her family and stuff like that. And she just always supported my writing skills. I always remember like the way she rewrite. I was always going through a 2nd revision. And my whole challenge, I like a challenge. And my whole goals was, to just win the challenge of her not sending me through a 2nd revision. Like, what am I not? And it would always be, just over doing too much grammarization or would have run-on sentences was another thing. Like,
Punctuations.
I'm just trying to get it all in. And, it's still something I'm working on to this day. Like, take that out. Like, trying to get the right flow on a song and stuff like that. You got to know word use and choice and how to
word cuts.
put, get your message across without, using too many words, without saying too much. It's the best hit maker.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why I reflect on it like that, because, that's just something that I respect out of her, and one of the people that always supported my writing skills, as far as so 7, 8 years old.
Okay.
Like if we want to be technical with writing songs, that's gonna go back into maybe like 5 and 6 years old, where me and my cousin was, look, if she ever see this, say you wanna cheat on me, dun, 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 dun. We had the whole beat, everything. I don't know why. We was like 5 or 6 years old. I don't know why we was talking about. Say you wanna cheat on me, dun, 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 dun. You don't have to lie. That's still like in my head. We used to sing that outside her song. Outside her house, and she'll be
that
like,
age.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's a fire topic for that age.
you get what I'm saying? So that was a song.
I mean, it's still relevant
No,
now, though.
I don't even think we wrote it down. It just was,
Yeah,
we
it's
was
hardwired.
doing
That's
it
dope.
and we remember it. Yeah.
How do you go about your writing process?
Good question.
Or what is your writing process?
Ooh, better
Yeah.
question. Because look, in the artist spotlight they asked, you know, like how I overcome writer's block, and I'm just like, I don't. I kind of store some stuff. You know, I write stuff when I'm in a mood, save it for later, or write stuff if I'm going through something, or I can write stuff when I witness, you know, other people going through stuff. It's kind of like the song "The Next Generation" I'm gonna do the next video for, that is in dedication or in tribute to, you know, an old school homie that passed away, you know, next gen, Sean Furr, justice for Sean Furr, who unfortunately got shot dead with his daughter, his baby daughter in his arms. And it essentially, we've been experiencing as a Black diaspora, as a whole group and a whole, you know, death and
A lot of trauma.
and a lot of trauma, Black violence, Black on Black, you know, all that. So when we witnessed that in a whole, I felt like everybody was shocked. More like that was where it's like, it's not no Trayvon Martin to where they, you know, they snuck up on him in the dark. It's not no Sandra Bland where she was alone in her car. These niggas don't give a fuck about her kids. You get what I'm saying? Like,
wake up
you know,
call.
you know what I'm saying? It didn't make no sense right then and there, you know? And so that song, I went in to talk about Charlene Laus and George Floyd. And specifically, those deaths were in witnesses of a community. Like I said, it wasn't no Trayvon Martin in the dark when it was just them and him.
Was it
wasn't no Sandra.
Was it due to police violence or?
Yeah, it was the police that shot him.
Okay. See.
So it's and in this sense, he was kind of like alone still, like those two other police brutality victims were, but his child was the witness. So you would think there would be some type of police morality,
A little discretion.
a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that song I wrote, you know, because I was thinking about Charlene Laus, where I lived in the same apartments that she got killed in, not at the same time, but essentially was connected with a lot of people who witnessed the death, that still was experiencing the trauma, that still was telling me the story of their children and what her children and how they played and what they saw and what they think and how they feel and things like that. And I'm just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So I brought that into my world to share with the world. And then, you know, as far as George Floyd, and, you know, that song just talks about, you know, he passed away in a city full of greed. You know, what the people going to think about that? Because it's just like, he was out on the street.
Right.
There was multiple people. That's on that one. So it's like, those types of deaths were witnessed. Were witnessed, pretty much. And so
You draw inspiration.
I draw, yeah.
Okay.
So my writing process is based off of what I go through.
Yeah.
Right.
And what you
Life
tap
experience.
into.
And what I tap into, what I'm in tune with, what I want to see change.
Right.
And, you know, things like that. Because a lot of my songs are about, like, family and, you know, kids. You know, like my videos. I have a lot of my videos, a couple of my videos. I got my kids in them. And I plan to have more videos with my kids in them.
How many kids do you have?
I only have 2.
Okay.
Shout out to LJ in London.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So, all in all, like you don't have writer's block because you just write whenever you get inspired.
Yeah, yes and no in a way. So what I meant by like not really overcoming writer's block is, yeah, I guess that sums it up. I guess that answers that.
Yeah.
So that I don't sound all complicated.
And what is your background in modeling? What is your experience with modeling?
Here we go. Well, like I said, I started modeling and went in pageants.
Yeah.
Like as a 3 years old. And I later on did like shows like Fame. and stuff like that. So that was more like acting and things like that. Modeling took more of a climb for me after high school.
Yeah.
Of course, when I get my whole freedom and I'm grown, I can
Yeah.
do what I want and possibly show off more than I'm supposed to, which kind of like changed my world too. I'm not gonna talk about that. That'll probably be a whole different interview. As far as like,
So was it print or like a fashion, like runway?
no, I have not yet to experience something like that. I would love to. Anyone watching this that thinks my legs are long enough. And that I am trying to gain a little weight, so if you want to stop me, get me on a runway, something like that. But it was just more print, I guess.
Print, okay.
Model Mayhem
Yeah.
was a big hustle for me. Made a profile there, posted pictures. Shout out to Kaysen Watson. That was a woman who kind of like believed in my beauty at a time where I didn't, and got me in front of the camera, where she then, supported me being photogenic, and, just wanted to shoot me, got, my confidence up and things like that. I think at that time I still wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Still were wearing glasses, and yeah, these are contacts. And just kind of like made me feel really, really beautiful, and confident in myself. So, and then I started losing weight. I kind of stopped eating pork and drinking soda because I was with like one of my ex-boyfriends who didn't drink soda and eat pork, and he was all working out and stuff, and I kind of was like in his shadow. So that kind of did me a good did me a good
favor.
run.
Yeah.
It really
dope.
did.
Yeah.
I be telling people, yeah.
A lot more people should be taking those type of approaches. That's dope.
Yeah. Oh, don't make me go there. I'm pretty submissive if you got some good leadership skills, if you know what you're doing.
I wasn't talking. I'm talking about the pork thing and that.
Oh,
so-
but I'm just saying, I'm a good follower. I know like what's good for me. I respect myself enough to value other people who respect themselves enough and take, and take that route that they're trying to, they show, other people by showing themselves, by doing to themselves. But anyways, now I'm kind of like thrown off a little bit. What's my question?
It was your modeling experience.
Yeah, okay. And so shout out, so Kaysen did that. And then so once I started losing weight and stuff, me, I'm a hustler. I found a way to hustle it, found Model Mayhem, started connecting with photographers and stuff like that, started getting paid for it, starting to know whether, I'm going to do compensation or do trade for print, got invited into that world where, okay, you're building your portfolio, you're doing, but then again, you run into a lot of
Scammy.
scammy perks and things like that. So it didn't really last long because for one, it kind of does take a little bit of
Money and time.
not necessarily because I'm a hustler, so that's always involved in that. But when it comes to dealing with the scammy perks, it takes you having to let go of something of yourself that you don't want to let go.
Right.
And I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
So fast forward that I did prints, showed them off on like Instagram versus like trying to get big magazine companies or agencies. Looked into them a couple of times because, of course, Model Mayhem is a network where you're open to the big photographers or, the people who've worked for, big timers or executives, things like that, or model agencies and things like that. So, of course, I did like other magazines. Shout out to Tasha Foss, who was a makeup artist who had us in her magazine. There's like a whole makeup magazine that we were in. And it was like the 7 deadly sins, and we had like sloth and gluttony and pride, and that even taught me a bit. Taught me something spiritual, even from that experience. I think I wasn't gluttony. I was the sloth one.
The sloth.
Which was kind of perfect because I'm a Taurus. So, you got that lazy side of that chill. Like, I don't want to do shit, whatever. Fuck it. Because it's either that or, going, beasting or going hard. And you can drain yourself when you're just always beasting and going hard. So those are, I got to show off in a model sense my self-preservation.
Right.
At, skills or whatever. But yeah, my modeling thing or experience was just fun, I
So,
guess.
so you're talking to past tense. You don't do it anymore.
Yes and no. I had kids,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know, and that kind of changes the scene.
Got it.
Not only does it
Yeah.
time and money, but you know, availability and just what I'm given. I still like. I was about to call up Jamie. Shout out to Jamie, who is a professional photographer for like colleges of sports teams. Goes to Mexico, to Cabo, like every year to do Sports Illustrated
Oh.
models, and we've talked about like how I could, and we manifested. And I manifested, hopefully one day, because it's like I'm 30 this year. I don't know where it would go, because he works with women who are like over 40, 45, who just get paid like 15,000
Yeah.
or more to get flew out there, do the Sports Illustrated, do what they got to do and come back home. And it's just like, if that I could pull a little 15,000 hustle
Yeah.
every year,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I could figure out how to flip that shit. And like never eventually not never work again with all the other hustles I could pull off and stuff like that. But I was just thinking about hitting him up right now just to shoot, because I shoot with him just spontaneously or periodically
Yeah.
when I want to, even with the kids. Me and the kids just did a photo shoot
Yeah.
with him, but it was all about the kids.
Right. Right.
And I can kind of pull myself into that hustle again. It just takes a lot of time and energy.
For sure. Yeah.
And at this point, more manifestation to be dedicated to do it, because my children are still young.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask that actually. Do you want to go further into the family? Like, how do you involve them with your music and your artistry right now?
Yeah, they in a couple of songs.
Okay.
Look, I've been shouting them out.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
been talking about them.
How old are they?
Videos. They're 5 and they're 6 years old.
Okay, yep. So it's right. You know how
I had a
pivotal-
back to back.
Yeah,
They
okay,
a
that's
headache
what's up.
and a
That's what's
blessing
up.
all in one. So I got to make it the light of my life. To be honest, they saved me from a lot. And they motivate me. But I'm at this time of my life where you gotta kind of show people that your kids aren't like they don't make you, they don't define you. A lot of people think most women ain't shit without their kids, and I came with a lot before them, honestly.
How
So
old are you?
I'm 30.
I know you ain't supposed to ask that, but I gotta ask.
Well, no, you're not supposed to ask that when people are old.
I gotta.
I don't get bothered by getting asked my age.
No, I just didn't want to offend anybody. I'm like, how dare you ask her like that on TV? You know what I mean? We on the air.
You must got raised by like grandparents or something. They still in your life or something like that. Look, I ain't got none around, so I don't know.
But that's old school. It's an old school way of thinking.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
old school way of thinking. I just got old
But
school.
I'm. It's amazing how I feel like I'm old. I'm getting old. I just told somebody the other day, I'm getting old, because I was referring back to something like 13, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
But talking to someone just literally like 2 days ago who's like, what, over 50, 55, he's like, oh, you're a baby. And I'm just like, you're right, because there's a lot of shit that I've been bumping my head into that I don't think I don't know shit as long as I've been here, and I think I know this, and I've been there, and there's those days where I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's like, when he said you just a baby, it humbled me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, I am. I'm learning a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
So that will make sense.
But we do involve the kids in the artistry. That's dope. In the modeling too, or in the photography now as well, right?
Yeah, there's more to
dope.
come, because it's like with music.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like going full-fledged with my music career, because let's just call it entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna come with all the other talents and skills that I start to pull out, and that God starts to even show me that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that type of bag, that type of cup.
I was asking that basically to kind of get some more insight on family, because we had discussed, like, maybe your side of your.
Wait, you're asking
Remember-
all the questions.
I asked all the questions. I asked all of them.
I don't know.
Mess
He only
went on-
asked one question
Mess
so
went on
far.
a good run.
Anyway, okay, I'm ready.
We've been rotating. Mess went on a good run.
Oh no, you are you are talking to me. Look,
That's fine, good.
okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I don't feel like
We about to rotate here in a second. So I guess my
family thing.
Yeah, any more family you wanted to incorporate into this interview right quick?
You know, like okay. 'cause
Without
you said we
getting,
talked about,
I know that's kind of loaded because we did talk about a lot of things when it came to your family, but we were talking about. I think we touched a little bit on like family and when it become like toxic, or also like remember we was kind of a little bit all over the place.
He's gonna
with that.
bring in the toxic.
Not really. But,
I didn't
not
say that,
really,
but you know what?
Not really, but you know what I mean.
Okay,
You were
let's
like,
talk about it.
We were talking about within your artistry,
Family breakups.
your music, family breakups, and
And
how it's affected you, how it's
you just sparked something totally different that I don't think we did talk about. It's like how music affects family.
Yeah, that's
and
kind
how
of
it
what
could break up.
Yeah,
a
that's
family.
what I was kind of really within your artistry. That's what I wanted to really.
I won't speak too much and bring that back to life, but I've heard a lot of other of a loved one's opinion
Yeah.
of my music or whatever type of success that I've created or built, and it has never been in a good light, love or success or love. You know, it's kind of like always a battle. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know if it's a true, because there are times where I've thought it was a true Black generational curse, because you don't see too many of the other ethnicities or races in that same battle.
Agreed.
And so it brings me back into like not always wanting to be that oblivious to that and making it the fault of the other, but the default of the generation or
The crab is in the barrel kind of mindset.
you know,
type
of
thing?
Culture.
of the culture, the mindset. So it's like, but when you're playing fair like that, it's never, it's never truly equal to you or beneficial, or
So
you're
it's a
always
lot of-
getting,
It's a lot of mental trickery,
yeah,
and
it's a lot of mind fuck.
and it's
Either like fuck me or I'ma fuck your mind up.
and they don't want you to share your experience because it puts them in a negative light.
Possibly.
Yeah,
In this sense.
but it's
Look, in this sense, because technically if it were putting him in a positive light, it would be supported.
right. But it's your experience. You get to share your
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate how you would commit yourself to your family for so long and push off your success or ignore your success or it knocking on your door, and you're trying to get this person to understand that, hey, let's turn this into something that is supportive or that is supportable. You know what I'm saying?
I relate to that as well.
Yeah.
So
Let's make this. There's times where I'm in an argument, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, do this, and let's go to a podcast and talk about it. I'm being funny, like, for real. I'm really trying to heal it that way. Like, there needs to be some type of
Therapy.
positive perspective
Yeah.
or light on anything that we've been going through or that we went through or that we built, because it doesn't have to be like not over as a family.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard. That's getting a little deep there.
It's
But,
very overlooked, but I think therapy, like, it's kind of like the referees for like two people. You know what I mean, if we two teams, even though we're on the same team, essentially as
and you would
family,
think
right?
so.
That's
You
what
would
it's
think
supposed to be. So.
Even if we're not together,
right.
there's something called a platonic relationship, and a lot of families have those. Even when you break up with them sexually, and when you're not physically involved with them anymore or sexually involved with them anymore, there is still some type of bondage and some type of attachment that's platonic, and that's where the confusion happens.
Okay.
That's I don't want to go.
It's all good.
That's
We
deep
Yeah.
too.
we can lighten it up. We
That's
can lighten
deep
it up.
too. I don't want to get too caught up.
We gonna
into
light.
something else.
We gonna lighten it up. We gonna lighten it up. Don't worry.
So what do you prefer, recording or performing?
Good question. I haven't got enough experience with performing, to be totally honest. I would totally
You feel like you can
more.
kill it? You feel like you can kill
Oh,
it?
I know I can kill it. Let's talk about it.
Stage presence.
For me to not even have experience with performing, I pulled this show in Vegas. I wasn't even promoting my music that much or that hard on Instagram, but somebody falls in my DMs, kind of like getting this podcast, I don't know if I was promoting a video or anything, or if I posted a picture or something about music, but someone tapped in. Shout out to Brianna Jones, who is in control of the Las Vegas Cyphers. And they're like, we're having this show, come out, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, it took a whole lot of faith for me to have, because not only is this a show, I haven't had experience of doing it. Ain't really tapped in with nobody that I don't know who's trying to tap in with me. And I've gotten scammed so many times from them Instagrammers who like, let's market your music, give me $100, da 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 da, I'll post you here, blah blah blah. So I had already went through all that. Okay.
It happens.
And so I'm like, all right, what's up? Got
Drop me your cash app.
No, they wasn't asking for no money. So I'm asking more questions. The curiosity went up because money wasn't really involved. So that's what built the trust right there. It was just more money was involved in me getting to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had to sponsor and invest into my own show.
Right.
But I did. Dropped the kids off to my mom, figured out, or I think I told my mom or something. I don't know how I put it. I got out of here on the kids. That wasn't normal. Didn't have no experience with doing that either. And went for it. I remember like being the first person there. I booked the Rio, and when I got there was a long ass line, and I knew I wasn't gonna get checked into my hotel before the show starts. So I leave the Rio and go to the show with my bag and my clothes and everything. It was off of Sahara Ave. So I get there to what, Lady... Look, they got me thinking of the Lady Lux, not the Lady Lux. Lady something, I think. Like a venue, like a little... I would say like an old Freddy's type of casino-ish
Or like a
venue, or like a Lady Luck's venue. That's kind of why I'm thinking of Lady Luck's, because you know how Lady Luck's got the stage and they be having shows there sometimes. Okay, so boom, something like that. And it was locked. It was closed. So I'm all like, all right, I'm hitting the Rihanna up on Instagram. Ain't nobody responding. I had already tapped in with a few other of the people on the flyer, trying to be smart before I even come to Vegas, to kind of like try to connect with somebody, get there with somebody or something like that. So the host, I'm hitting up the host, I'm hitting up the other two artists that I tapped in with and stuff, and nobody's really back. So I'm like, oh shit. And so fast forward, I got in. I get dressed in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm maybe like the second or the first. They put me on stage maybe first or second, like right away.
That's what's up.
How long did you perform?
That's what's up.
What's up? But
no, that's what's up. You gotta get out there and do your thing, though.
But
That's dope.
Right, because it was just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have no time to get anxious. I didn't have no time to do nothing. And the two songs that I were choosing were reflecting kind of like the family breakup. So it was more like a rap. It wasn't singing. So I had performed "You Are a Liar," a song that I had recorded myself on BandLab, and then promoted on BandLab, posted it on like Spotify. Because what I did was I had YouTube. How do you get your songs to sound like a radio hit, you know, because I was always getting robbed from people paying 300, 400. My shit ain't. I'm coming out the studio. My shit don't even sound like I
This
can
is-
send it to the
Yeah.
radio. So it's like, what are you guys doing to me? So this is
it.
where I, invest into Band Lab, do all this. So boom, fast forward. I do the YouTube video. I figure out a good way to get my stuff sounding right, and that's why I performed that. To be honest, it was kind of out of the ordinary for me to choose to be confident and comfortable with record or with performing that song, knowing that I recorded it myself in my own house
Right.
and mixed it myself, knowing that I didn't really know what other people thought of it like that because it wasn't something that I was performing before. It wasn't something that I really promoted on my SoundCloud yet, or no, I think it was, but it just wasn't a time where I was really confident in it.
Right.
Just chose to do it anyways. And then I did Lost Away, which essentially was just another one that I did on BandLab and mixed myself. But it wasn't really truly fully promoted because it had like this slideshow of me and dude and ex-dude and a lot of anguish of like how we had to break up because it was like it wasn't a normal breakup. It wasn't fair to me at all.
But still, I
so
mean,
I started rapping
you gave people
after that. I
some-
started, because it was more like,
Yeah. Angry writing.
That's good though. That's
okay, I got to get this out quickly.
A lot of artists.
You know,
relate like
can't
that.
dwell on this forever, so just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let's tell people how I really feel type stuff. Because like I said, it wasn't a normal breakup. It wasn't fair to me. Most people just break up. It's private. It's, you start, you know what I'm saying? My breakup wasn't private at all. It was public like a motherfucker. It was, I had no respect to my children, my family, just me
Yeah.
as a mother.
Yeah.
No, I felt so disrespected, like by everybody.
so like it went online and stuff, like social
Oh,
media.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Oh
I mean,
yeah, it went on.
that happens.
My whole relationship was like an online relationship.
But you
yeah.
was
It was-
younger,
it was-
less
it was-
mature,
it
probably.
was fake as
little
fuck.
bit, little bit. Okay.
Well, and I would tell dude, why you saying all of that online, but you don't say that to me? Like
Yeah.
our arguments would be about how fake he was.
I've seen that.
Like I don't want to live like this.
So what do you prefer, writing on the phone or a notebook?
On the phone.
On the phone.
What notebook I got?
No, writing, like physically writing.
I know.
You
I
don't.
don't physically write nothing down but my bills and other like notes that tax notes that get written down on posters and stuff like that. But music is all mobile.
It's all on your phone.
Oh,
So what do
I
you
like writing.
What do you prefer?
But that gets destroyed easily. It gets lost. There's notebooks that I used to write in that I don't even know where they're at. I moved or something like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So
Phone.
sell your data sometimes is a good backup.
Yeah.
so
for me.
fame or money?
Money. I mean, I don't,
She
look,
said, "Give me
I
the
don't got
bag."
enough experience with fame. Look, I'm almost 30. And this is what I be thinking about now. Like, damn. I always said, by the time I'm 33, my Jesus year, I'd be all the way into my dream, my musical dreams. And then I gave myself, a good couple of years from that until I'm about 40 and then I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I this is why I say about me stashing things and me writing and me being, intense in certain times to where I got certain things to pull out my bag, little secret weapons here and there, to where I don't got to be in the spotlight and worried about the fame that long. My whole plan is not to be focused on the fame. It's to get this money.
Yeah.
I got a couple of God-gifted talents and skills that can help me get into the bag. I'm going to try to take full advantage and take charge of what I can and utilize those, see what I could make happen, what I could provide for my family. And then by the time I get 40, I can enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's so money, because I've always been about that. I can't.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I mean,
So-
that's what,
Most people would choose that.
So are you a high fashion or a thrifter?
what is fashion? I can't even think of the song. So say that again. What was the other?
Thrift.
Thrift.
She's like, I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
you gotta be on that.
I'm a Taurus. I'm an Earth sign. I don't know if this. Well, I can't look. Disclaimer, because not every Taurus is grounded.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm balanced with that. I kind of have this confidence where I could look like money, so I don't have to spend a whole lot of money on the things that I inherit into my appearance.
That's what's up.
Um,
We sport.
I didn't pull millionaires and property owner and things like that in Walmart working there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I go to the thrift store sometimes to buy Calvin Klein and DKNY and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Things that get dropped off new there for the low.
Yeah.
Socks, drawers, stuff like that, and then go spend money on, shoes possibly would be the biggest thing that I, spend more money on, or hair, because everybody want a lot for their time and their service or their hair. So,
We do.
yeah,
We barbers, we are
right,
barbers.
exactly.
Yeah,
Pay
we
me.
do.
So that's something that I'm gonna choose in my head. That's gonna keep me feeling good and looking right and stuff like that. Because I could wear jeans and a white tee and feel very comfortable and confident.
It's the bookends. Like a bookend. You know what a bookend is?
Yeah, the end of a hard copy book.
No. Like bookends.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Light me.
Okay.
We got a book right here.
Yeah, but when
That's
you
what I
have when you have like a library, right? You have the front
Okay.
and the back
I got
that holds the book,
I got
Yeah.
all the
you. I
books
got you. Now.
together.
Yeah.
The bookends. So the hair and the shoes are bookends.
baby.
It holds you together. Yeah.
You a flower. You a flower.
Kinda fire.
Fuck it. She a seed. She's a seed. Yeah, that makes total sense. And you see how you had that visual of
Yeah.
I'm whole.
Yeah.
As long as
long
my
as this
feet
is-
and my head is in place and intact and solid and grounded, I'm okay. I don't need too much. And see, this is where, even when I bought this, I'm like, I'm gonna buy a little chain because first I used to say I don't want to wear gold. I don't because people think I don't want to really get riled. I don't want people to think I got too much. Stuff like that is just I don't know. It's just a mindset of mine. But I keep it small, and a couple of people asked me how much that cost. And I'm thinking about why the fuck do they see? And because it's small, it's not that big, but it's shiny, it's nice, or something about it has value to their eye that they want to know how much I actually spent on it. Well, goddamn, keep questioning, keep wondering, and keep asking, because you'll never know. Like I said, I kind of have a confidence that I kind of look like money, so that's what that means. So I would go with knowing when to thrift, knowing how to thrift, and then knowing what to spend your money on to provide, value to bring value to yourself.
Balance.
It's dope.
Yeah. True balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alicia Keys.
I was her for Halloween.
Oh.
Or
there you
who?
go. Or who we got?
I didn't put it in order.
We were trying to
I'm
figure out.
gonna say Mary J.
Oh, you're making it super hard.
That's hard? I thought that would have been
Kinda,
easier.
sorta.
I said
All right, go ahead.
Ashanti.
Well, then Alicia.
Oh.
I mean,
Ashanti's a writer.
you.
She writes.
Yeah, you're right. And then I was gonna say Ashanti had the whole look, the whole vibe.
Yeah. She
So I can't.
She was the
I
product.
can't shun her for. Yeah, she was just.
Alicia is a performer.
She's a performer as well, but a different kind of performer.
She's not a stage performer. She's a performer with her instrument.
Piano,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what I mean
exactly.
by a different kind
No
of
dancing,
performer.
no-
Yeah.
So Ashanti, let's say if Ashanti knew how to play the piano, she'd be at that piano, blah, 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 and then she'd be on that stage too.
I say if I say
Hey.
Mary J.
At the tip
What
of
Mary
my
J?
tongue. Because you didn't mention Jennifer Hudson. You didn't mention
No.
mention Jasmine Sullivan.
yeah.
You didn't mention a lot of other.
That's just
Vocals.
vocal.
I mean, this kind of leads into what we was gonna say
Yeah.
next. What are your biggest musical influences?
yeah.
Would you say?
Or inspiration.
On the artist spotlight, I didn't mention Alicia, even though she is biggest one. I had said Whitney.
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
And Diana for old school. And then I had said Fantasia. I don't know, does she
Fantasia.
play an instrument? No.
No. She's a performer
She
and a
got a
singer.
strong voice though.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Hudson, like she
You
got
know,
super strong.
I wouldn't say she's too much of a singer-songwriter. She
Cool.
wrote some Fantasia.
I mean, same with Whitney. Whitney wasn't a singer.
Yeah,
song.
she
I mean,
wasn't.
she was a singer,
Strong
but not a
voice.
songwriter.
Yeah.
Super strong voice.
And she said it. She famously said, "Give me a song. I'm not writing it, but I'll sing the heck out of it."
And that's kind of the type of artist I want to float into
Okay.
being. Sometimes I get drained and tired around my own songs. If you have and this is where I was excited to bring out that I was working with a guitarist who could teach me what key I'm in or something, because it's just like that's how I could learn music as well. Other writers, other people coming into publishment that can guide the production into a sound that everybody essentially wants to hear, not just something I want to give off.
Right. Yeah.
And then so now when I'm listening to the songs,
That's dope,
that
though.
memory is
I
always
appreciate
there. Like that would have never been there if so and so didn't
Right.
hear that and told me to do that and put that in there. And a lot of the times people that's the note or the key that the fans are remembering and hearing about the song.
Is there anybody new school that you like look at and you're like, oh, I like the way, like we talked a little bit about her, but like is
SZA.
it SZA? Okay.
I
That's
mean,
what's
her
up.
album's at number one, right?
Fire, gas.
But it and it's
It's gas. It's gas.
not. Look, I'm with you there.
It's gas.
Not every song.
Yeah.
For it to be a number one album, and not every song hits for
Kinda
me.
gas though.
And
No,
knowing
no.
what type of artist that I used to really
Yeah.
like, my mom used to have a whole album of CDs in her car. And when I say it was the G Units, just the remember how the collaboration
Yeah.
used to be every
Yeah.
single song on the album. You know what I'm saying? It
We
was
live in
your
a different
anthem.
era though now. It's
We
streams
do.
and
For
all
it
sorts
to
of
be,
crap.
but we don't have them type of artists. I believe in myself like that. I'm working on an album where I'm like, I orchestrated it for it to be like, nah, they wouldn't be able to let this song go. So I'm gonna put that there, and it's only gonna be, I think her album got more than 15 tracks, right?
Right.
My album only got maybe 10 or 11, right? Giving them to us short and easy. But it's like, if that could be a top album, and it's not the way that we used to funk back in the day where each song could be on
Yeah,
the
that's
radio,
true. That's true.
I have a chance.
Right. And my always comparison is like a Mariah Carey. You know what I mean?
We talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just downloaded the Emancipation to me.
The
all over again.
Whole joint.
the girl
Yeah.
doesn't.
That was
over
like
again.
06, right? 05?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl doesn't have to
Mimi?
do nothing.
Yeah.
She has to do nothing,
I
and
was
she gains every year.
I was just listening to that yesterday, and I was listening to it so closely to where I'm like, this is about to be my new anthem, because what she's saying right now is, it's my life, no stress, no fights, I'm leaving it all behind. It spoke to my soul, and I'm like, Jermaine Dupri, that was in my artist
producer,
spotlight,
yeah.
I had mentioned him. Because it's like every production, every collaboration was a hit. It didn't matter who he got up on it, who he threw a beat to. Mimi came through and was like, oh yeah, this is a hit. And it was funny because I'm listening to how he put his whole ad-libs in. He was like, ha ha ha, like laughing through the whole song. And the shit that she was saying was funny because she said, them chickens is ash and I'm lotion. And I'm 30 years old and I just paid attention to, I'm like, these chickens is ash and I'm lotion, Mimi. And then
That's fire.
Jermaine Dupri was like, ha ha ha, right after that.
Yeah.
I was like, this nigga is sick.
So what's your biggest challenge of being a singer?
Criticism. I think
Ooh,
it got
ouch.
cut out of the artist
Yeah.
spotlight. I think I said.
Are you
I touched on
sensitive about
something
your art?
big. I think I touched on how all of us,
Most
as a
artists
whole, as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Our family status, our public status, like so many things incorporate, what makes us successful or what makes us popular enough to gain a fan base.
So many things influence that expression, and that's why it's so important. Constructive criticism affects artists mostly because everything matters for that artistry expression.
If it's constructive.
Exactly. I was
A lot of
about
people
to
are
say.
critical, though.
Yeah,
A lot of
you're
people are critical. A lot of-
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Because a lot of people are cynical.
We just
Yes,
critique.
so-
We just critique SZA and like
No, but it was
But-
constructive.
We critiqued her album.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
then
that's
we
what I'm saying.
compared it to
Yeah, other.
other
It was-
albums in the industry.
Exactly.
We didn't criticize her and
what I'm
her,
saying is-
her
what I'm
artistry
saying
at
is-
all.
Talent.
What
yeah.
I'm saying
No.
is, it's very like
And that's constructive criticism.
It's
If she
just
was
not
to
the
hear
judge,
that,
right?
she should hopefully appreciate that, because it was able to be deciphered and detached away from any personal criticism. And so that's why my answer to that was criticism, because I deal with a whole lot of other criticism. It's not constructive at all. I just mentioned how, the loved one of the family would, will insult the success or the music, and it would never be supported or brought up in a good light. So a lot of that type of criticism, and how a breakup got put on social media and public. So just imagine how many artists don't get publicized like that.
Right.
That have
Right.
a better chance, a better route to take, or they don't build a better story.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm gonna come with
So
every time.
with that being said,
But-
how do you balance your personal life with being as a musician? Excuse me.
I stay involved with the community by coming to things like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That
And
keep
we
me-
appreciate you. Shout out for you.
You get what
Shout
I'm
out
saying?
to you networking and
I
and doing
appreciate
it.
you
That's
guys,
dope.
because this is what keeps our artists going.
Yeah.
In the light. Like, there is far more than a lot of things that I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, everybody in an everyday life has their own stress. You get what I'm saying? And so when it comes to a lot of other things that are adding on to that stress, like criticism that's not constructive, it's hard to battle. It's hard to fight. And ever since I started standing up for myself, I've been in a battle. I've been in a fight. Ever since
Because
I
the
started
moment-
speaking out and speaking up.
The moment you put a boundary around you, people that used to have access to you are trying to push the boundary,
Yeah.
and they're getting mad that there's a fence.
Yeah. Not only that, but even as an artist, I've experienced other artists in competition or in comparison that deteriorate or try to block, that bring blockage to your routes
Right.
of success. Simply by just not supporting, simply by just not making an acknowledgement, whether or not they do or not, or they have a malicious gossip in the artist world. Because there is still, like you said, as artists, there's this artist world as well. You get what I'm saying? And when you're being like personally ridiculed or criticized a lot or publicized in not such a good light, that gets brought into your artist world. And then other artists find out about you first personally versus what you really could bring to the table.
Right.
And it could deteriorate them even listening to your music, downloading streams, supporting you as another artist, which could help you gain exposure in a
good way.
in a network. That's what helps build our music and our black networks. But it's so tainted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are some of your goals for this year?
Like I had said, I want to be able to be invited to more podcasts, more interviews, just to talk about, my artistry, my journey, of course.
Well, you good for it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You ain't got some people we having, you be nervous and we see all the time. Some people don't like the way they hear it.
Told you, give me some vodka. Give me a little bit of vodka. I do have goals of hopping back on multiple streams and platforms. When I first started to do music videos, I rushed to Apple Music and Tidal and all those big Spotify and all those getting my music out, but needed to sit back and learn more on the business side, the business mindset of everything.
Very important.
Yeah, the videos was for promotion, so I realized that I would need to wait to do the full store platform when I actually have an album that I will be producing, and it's like, or will be produced, and I'm on that. So that's one of the goals, to get that done and completed. I have chosen a YouTube producer named BizOunce, and just orchestrated it, and hopefully it does well. BizOunce had won a gold reward for Rod Wave Soulfly and he's pretty local. I want to say, if I recall exactly, he's like Seattle, North Seattle local. But if not, he's around in the Northwest, and we connected one time, and I have his support, and hopefully it just manifests into a fruitful project. A lot of other goals that I have is to seeking management, seeking like a team, like a publicist team. Definitely a makeup artist. I tried to play in my makeup before I came, but I didn't have enough
Yeah, we
time.
talked about that. I was like, it's too early. We do it kind of early.
I got a little makeover appointment or something. I I don't know, I ain't gonna say that. But when I did my artist spotlight, I watched it over and over and over, and they had a lot of close-ups where I'm like, okay, this scar I'm about to do something with. I'm tired of seeing it. Well, I've had it for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I felt like it's something that I've embraced for a long time now, and didn't hide or try to hide. And before I get, more interviews or podcasts or just things where people are all up in my face, I just want to just have I guess everybody has a good cover up. I'm not good with having a cover up, and that's the first one I want to invest into, because it's like, it gives me a chance to reveal what actually had happened as well.
Yeah. It's your story. It's your story.
Because I don't want that to be the first thing. And it gives people the wrong impression, believe it or not, unfortunately. I'm not everybody. I don't think the same as everybody, but I have been into plenty of rooms where they just automatically jump to conclusions or think whatever they think that, like I said, deteriorates support or whatever I could be possibly blessed with or gaining.
That's unfortunate, and I hope that doesn't continue to happen. All I can say.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking about modeling.
But still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't nobody want to look at a picture with a girl,
it's not
a model
that.
with a scar on her face. Like, let's
it's
be
not
real.
that. Like, right now they got the models that are they experience
Vitiligo.
vitiligo. So it's like, have you been seeing that?
Vitiligo?
Oh,
Discoloration.
I was about to say,
discoloration.
what's
And
the
they just
generic
embrace it.
word for that? Albino?
No.
Nah,
Vitiligo is.
vitiligo is like Michael Jackson shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Vitiligo.
But you white.
And you have
you white though.
white spots around you.
When the light
I
skin
thought
is
that was albino.
when the beigeness
Albino is when you are
It's
completely.
like when you're. It's like you're white. With,
Okay,
like,
no,
you
you're
black
right. You're
with,
right.
like, little-
Albino is when you're completely.
you're a Dalmatian. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Okay, so that's what I got albino confused with.
When the white people was really
So
really
vitiligo,
taking
that's
over.
what it's called.
Vitiligo.
Oh, vitiligo.
or trying to take over on
When
your
it
I grew up with a person that was.
that had vitiligo.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So things like that need to be embraced, and I feel like scarring and things like that, they need to be embraced too. Like
Well,
seeing
that's
people
what I'm
now.
saying.
Like,
I embraced it already.
if they embracing
But
plus,
if you embrace it, you
No,
don't
I'm
want to
saying,
change it.
They embracing
I
plus
can't
size.
change this. It's on my motherfucking face.
No, you act. No,
I'm saying,
there's
they
scar
embrace-
removal.
Every time I wash my makeup off and I look at whoever the hell is
But
seeing
Ty-
my bare face, it's there.
but-
It's not nothing I'm.
No.
But Ty, peep, they embracing these plus size models now. So
Hey,
it's like,
what's wrong with
I was
that?
ain't
about
nothing
to
wrong
say
with
that.
it. I ain't saying that. What,
But
man?
they're just
We
now.
got you on the Barber Game podcast. We ain't shaming people that's bigger, all right?
Right.
What I'm saying
I
is,
know. On
he is not
NorthFace.com.
trying to get canceled. He definitely.
Yeah, stop. It's so embarrassing.
He just said,
But I
he just said-
was gonna
all
make
he's
a
saying
point.
Is don't be prejudge of just
No,
because a person
I'm just saying
has something that stands out.
everyone has a scar and every scar has a story, right? And
But I need to get paid for that story, so I need to cover it up.
You can use that to your advantage.
I've been using that to my advantage already, and I know how much that's even worth and how much value. There's a lot of people that have gravitated to me,
Just off of that.
just off of that.
Yeah.
And it's been good. It's been prosperous, so,
Not to mention it helps you grow.
and I don't get paid for it, right? But I get paid.
You can though.
I can.
Yes.
But that's where that confidence and that new dedication comes to be manifested in, like,
That
all
new
right,
you.
this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Let's cover it up. so people can want to ask me about it.
It's all good.
Oh, so you're gonna put a Band-Aid on like Nelly did?
Stop it! I'm
That's
done. You telling me to
Look,
stop?
whatever.
You need to
Curiosity kills the
stop,
cat.
right?
Right.
Curiosity kills the cat.
One more thing off topic. Can you tell listeners at home, on their cell phones right now, our Apple ID and our Androidians at the crib, what's your experience as a mother in the barber shop atmosphere today? Because I know you had a whole different experience probably when you were younger, but
I ain't gonna say his name.
yeah, okay, all right.
I ain't gonna say his name.
Okay.
He probably want me to say his name. I could say his name.
You should say his name.
Don't.
I
do it.
should,
Don't,
but
don't,
I
say his
can't because
name.
I don't even know.
Don't do
I don't
it.
even know if he like me.
don't do it to yourself.
Yeah, don't do
Just
that.
Don't
Don't-
do
And
it.
it's
Don't
so
talk about
crazy
this
because you want to talk about this family breakup because that's the drama that you want to hear about. But let me tie it into this barbershop question. I tried to schedule an appointment with the barber. Can you do my son's hair? Can you do my son's hair? The day where a lot of family shit happened and it disconnected my connection to the barber. So I do want you to know that. And so he's been doing this thing with, barber school and he's gotten really, really good. Showing people like on his TikTok and, everything and his Facebook, like his progression and like where he's been and a lot of things that he's been in before he even started to build a passion for barber school and help like his community. Because of course, a lot of the barbership membership is about like helping the community and doing things for children and other men, single, father, whatever type of inspiration or like commitment that you want to, bring to your community or the people that you're servicing at the end of the day. So he makes sure that he, make sure people know what he's doing it for and who he's doing it for and why. I just bring him into the front of this question or this conversation because he's somebody I really look up to in a way. It's just everything he's been through. Like he's been to prison before and he's just totally turned his life around. With his barbership school and passion and drive. And he didn't quit. He didn't give up. He's been doing it for like the last 2-3 years. And it shows. That's where that's where I take my son to get his hair cut at. His dad takes him somewhere else. I think Justin, shout out to Cutting Up Barbers in the South End. But honestly,
Shout out to them.
I don't really like... come back. I ain't gonna say too much.
Okay, all right.
When
It's all
I
good.
go
Yeah, no
to
negativity.
Jameer,
A1.
make sure
Gotcha.
everything is
Got you.
okay. And I've gotten like insults as a mother. Oh, whoever's cutting my son's hair, their clippers is dirty. And like, come on, man. Like, can you just give me a high five of keeping up with the haircut? It's kind of a lot. I don't do this every 2 or 3 weeks like I'm supposed to, but at least I do it every month.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I make sure
And that's
my son
admirable.
look good
That's admirable. Thank you.
when we really gotta look good. You know what I'm saying? Like my son's been through stages where we've grown his hair out, we've done dreads, and I want him to do this curl look and and do this more natural look. So it's like there's things that we're experiencing on his hair and his hair texture too that doesn't always apply a haircut, a fade, or a lineup or something. So to sum it up in that, I'm the owner of Lolo's Lemonade. And Co. It's a company that was founded and created in tribute to my daughter who was born with Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome. It's a genetic condition of her 11th chromosome. And we've been through the most with just trying to get her to the healthiest point to have the best quality of life as possible. It's a risk of cancer. So she's been, poked on, been in surgeries for biopsies, and we had a big cancer scare. She overcame that. This is a juice that I worked on in my own kitchen and, created to boost immunity. I put collagen and potassium in it, which is 2 nutrients that I were deficient in when I were pregnant with her. She was born 8 weeks early, premature, and lived in an incubator for 30 days. We didn't have her home for Christmas of 2017. She was born December 13th and she came home January 13th. Essentially, I had to do a lot of advocacy. I had to learn how to research what was going on with my daughter. I was in school at the time as well. That's why I was congratulating you and graduating. I was in school for 4 years trying to obtain a 2-year degree because I started when my children were babies. Anyways, and graduated in 2020, right smack dead of the pandemic, and wasn't really satisfied with a virtual graduation because it didn't make me feel
special.
No, at all. Anyways, I put everything that I had, all the strength, all the passion, everything that I even learned, everything I've been through, all my strife and dedication into that product, just as much as I did when I took off of work to finish school with my baby, to just make sure that I was there with her emotionally and mentally and just, spiritually, making sure that she was okay. The doctor who believed in me when it came down to finding the 10 tumors on her liver.
Jeez.
10.
Wow.
Okay. And my baby was just crying at home. She would cry. And I'm just like, this is not a normal cry. I went to 3 different doctors who told me, oh, this, that. And no.
Yeah.
No. Lauren Lawler, she heard my cry. She heard me. She looked at my daughter and she found those tumors. And then we went into surgery, we went into those things. And it was just because of my,
instinct.
That too. I'm blessed with that. But I like to call it digging your heels, since I have a song called Digging Your Heels, which means kind of like to resist stubbornly and not to give up. Digging Your Heels is a book written by a breast cancer survivor named Carla Antoinette Baptiste. And I wrote that song in like an hour to the producer who threw me the beat and did the project. Anyways, fast forward to, just being able to sponsor that type of faith and that type of, sanity that you kind of have to have as a mother without support to go through that, with your daughter and things like that. And knowing that you built something behind it because of it. We started out selling it at Children's Hospital where she was getting looked at, but we couldn't sell it outside of their hospital. And then we went up to Green Lake, and Green Lake never kicked us out. Yeah. So we were selling, lemonade there for like 3-4 years until we like even got a chance to open our store in Federal Way here. But it's ever since we opened our storefront, we've experienced this type of, public,
Scrutiny? Scrutiny?
Yeah. Like everyone knows what I do as an artist as far as, singing and songwriting and things like that. They know what I've been doing. And my daughter is the face of the business. So this is where that brings into tapping into barbers who are business owners that provide a service versus other business owners that provide a product, because there is that controversy out there.
Yeah.
There's something to do.
There is that different perspective out there that needs to be.
Not every barber can be a business owner.
True.
That's true.
Based on the talent versus skill and the skill. Because you could sit up there and spend time to acquire a skill, but it doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. Yeah. Just like maybe a talent. But talent requires, see, the difference of requiring and acquiring. Yeah. See, when you acquire something, there's no requirement.
Right.
So sometimes you could feel so good at doing it for a long time or whatever, because there's no requirement of you doing it good or bad. Right. You just have to do it. Right. You have to get up, and 80% of success is showing up. So as long as you show up and you show people you're acquiring this skill or you're making that effort, you're doing it, it can be fair. It can be rewarded.
It's nurture.
But talent,
it's nurture. Talent is nurture.
Yeah.
That's it. And skill is acquirement, and you have to cover all bases.
Yeah.
That's it.
Talent requires you proving a bigger point, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And you have to constantly nurture it.
Yeah, you're right. And it's harder.
I feel like you have to nurture both. Anything that you
You're
strive,
right. Okay.
anything that you strive that you want to do,
You're
right.
you still have to apply yourself.
Yes.
Of course.
Whether if you were born with a skill or a talent, and they both balance out to being the same.
But what,
you can have a talent and still not be good at your talent.
No, I was about to say that.
So it's
but it just requires you to be good. So that's why most people feel like they don't have a talent.
Right.
Because they're not really good at it. But if you nurture what you're doing, which is a mindset, right? If you know how to nurture what you're doing, then you would always believe that you are good in your talent or your skill, and you will keep working hard at it.
You still got to put in the same amount of work. Just like you go to school, you got to have so many so much time and invested into the school to acquire that skill set that applies to everything that you have to do in life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's a talent
Or skill.
Any last words and any shout outs? You got any last words, any shout outs? Shout outs to
Shout out to
you
your brand.
did you did shout out a lot of people.
I mean, I know. I'm
You
like,
shout
I
out
already
people.
mentioned.
You shout out a lot of
Good.
people.
I'm all,
But,
you know, right
you know
now
what?
I'm looking for
Promote
new people
yourself.
to shout out. Honestly,
No.
I'm looking for a team.
Shout yourself out.
Shout
Promote
your brand
yourself.
out. Your
Shout outs
brand.
to me and
Your
Lolo's Lemonade and everything that I've
Lolo's
built
Lemonade.
and acquired
Where can you get it?
versus talent or skill. Like I said, I could be found on London, Tokyo, Instagram, Tys Background on YouTube, Tys Background on
Lolo's
SoundCloud,
Lemonade.
Spell it.
loloslemonade.com.
Yeah.
So that's, if you guys want to taste my lemonade, we have 6 different flavors of distilled lemonade. We make it with distilled water.
Can you
So
spell
it's
that out?
alkaline.
Spell that out.
Lolo's Lemonade.
Yeah.
www.lolos lemonade LEMONADE
That's what's up. We got you.
.com.
We got you.
Email us. Our email is loloslemonadeco for company at gmail.com. I literally just got an email. We're going to be catering a multicultural event for Federal Public School District.
Perfect.
So I'm taking all catering, barbershop, it's just a drink. It's, I can bottle it or I can put it in a mason jar or we could, top it up on, some rocks and in a cup for you. However, we do birthday parties. We do weddings,
Events.
convention meetings, things like that, where you just want, a small snack or a small refreshment drink. We're there, we're cheap, and we're going to pull up mobilely for you. And we'll even decorate a little table or treat table and things for you as well.
Perfect.
What's up? That's what's up.
And give off some platforms where people can find your music.
Right. Okay. First and foremost, I'm on SoundCloud as Tys Background. I'm on YouTube as Tys Background. Instagram is London, Tokyo.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for coming to the Barber Game Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Like and subscribe.
Yep. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And for the people on their phones, make sure you hit that little bell in the bottom right corner. Ding.
And stay tuned for Activated.
That's what's up. Ty. All right, y'all. Tools.
Bye.
That concludes this week's episode. Tune in next week and check us out at thebarbergame.com.